We're here with another episode of Better Taiwan, where we discuss the impact of COVID-19 on people on this island and what we're doing to overcome these obstacles and difficulties. Today's topic is about face masks. On the 13th of April, Singapore's First Lady He Jing shared a news article on her Facebook page about Taiwan's commitment to donate 1 million masks to the 18 countries under its new southbound policy, which includes Singapore. He Jing's comment on the matter was simply, to which some were confused by the message she was conveying, while some were outright furious with her sarcastic tone, especially Taiwanese people. Taiwanese Facebook users flooded her page with criticism, which led to some heated exchanges between Taiwanese and Singaporeans online. He Jing has since then attached an addendum to her post, thanking Taiwan for its effort while encouraging solidarity. This incident goes to show that Taiwan obviously takes pride in its ability to not only supply its own people with surgical masks during the pandemic, but to have enough in excess for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to donate 6 million masks to European and Asian countries starting on April the 1st. And the reason for Taiwan's success in amping up its mask production is that upon confirming its first COVID-19 case in late January, the country immediately opened new face mask production lines, established cooperative relationships with existing mask manufacturers, and started sending military personnel to help manufacture masks. Taiwan now produces more than 15 million masks daily and aims for 20 soon, as the country vows to donate upwards of 10 million masks to countries around the world that are hardest hit by COVID-19. Today, we're speaking with one of the unsung heroes of Taiwan's surgical mask wonder, Chief Operating Officer of China Surgical Dressings, Mr. Jonathan Chang. First off, can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about China Surgical Dressing?
Okay. So my name is Jonathan Chang. I'm the COO of China Surgical Dressings. In short, we call it CSD Zhongwei. Our company is established in 1947, and we're the first medical device manufacturer in Taiwan at that time. And as the year progressed, we currently have more than 600 products SKUs, including all the specs. And we're considered as one of the major players in Taiwan for medical surgical dressings.
Okay.
Currently, our two core products is medical face masks, which we have about 30 to 40% of the market here in Taiwan. And then another product is alcohol prep pads, which we own about 70 to 80% of the market here in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's now get into the mask section. Back in early February, fresh out of Lunar New Year, Premier Su said that we are adding 60 mask production lines to our then current production capacity, potentially, he said, making Taiwan the second biggest manufacturers of surgical masks. Now,
Yes.
in March, Taiwan was making around to about 10 million a day. On January 30th, when WHO finally made COVID-19 a public health emergency and informed internationally and declared international concern, how quickly did China Surgical Dressings learn about how Taiwan is going to tackle COVID-19?
Well, back in December of 2019, we were actually already aware of this sort of, at that time we thought it was a flu. So at December, we already started preparing for a potential kind of a small outbreak. That's what we assumed at that time. So in December, we already started prepping a lot of the raw materials. We're ramping up our production just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we saw this potential outbreak because in January, not only was there the election, there was also Chinese New Year. So at that time, we were ready for a potential higher demand for face masks. So when January 31st came along, when the face masks were being bought by the government, we were able to provide them over 2 million face masks the first day.
This is some of your stockpile as well, right?
Yeah, because during Chinese New Year, it's actually the first time in the history that we actually did overtime during Chinese New Year. 5 days out of the 7 days, we did OT. So when the day actually came that the government needed it, we were able to provide them 217 million. Oh no, 2.1 million face masks.
217万 that in
Yeah,
Mandarin, right?
217
I know sometimes it's hard to translate the numbers. Okay, and that day is
Exactly.
January 30th. Is that right?
31st.
31st. Okay.
Yeah. So in our company, something that's a little bit unique is we only turn on 70% of our production normally. We always leave 30% for emergencies, because in our industry, there's not just like a high season and a low season. There's also seasons like when there happen to be an outbreak. That is going to go beyond what high season would normally have. So we keep it at 70% capacity, and then when needed, we use the other 30%. Yeah.
The government has, I think the only word that's close in English is expropriation, but to expropriate means you take it for free, sort of, right? You have a kind of a relationship, working relationship with the Taiwanese government. How does it work?
So right now, under the regulation is, however many face masks we manufacture every day, we have to provide it to the government.
Okay.
Yeah, and they buy it from us. So it's not for free.
Okay. And the cost at which they buy it, it's obviously lower than normally, or it's the same?
For us, it's definitely lower than normally. Yeah. So right now, I would say they buy from us around 2.5 to 3 NT per piece, right? Normally, when I sell it, is well above that.
Of course, yes.
And of course, during the market right now, I think the cheapest face mask you can get out of China is $3 RMB per piece.
That's 15. That's 15 NT, right?
Essentially, yes. Yes, essentially. But of course, that kind of price, I feel like it's a little bit too ugly.
It is.
It is. Yeah, it's a little.
So,
Yeah.
how much is the government asking from you, and how much were you making before?
Okay. Before we were making. Hold on, I need to switch it to English. 40万的话，这样对吧？ Okay.
400,000.
Before we were making about 400,000 per day, roughly, and then the government is asking us of 600,000, but we're actually providing 900,000 per day.
On average, how many hours does that take? I mean, you can't be producing the whole day, right? So I think it only takes a portion of the day to manufacture that much.
Yeah, we're running about 20 hours per day right now.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that's been like that since after Chinese New Year.
did you,
Actually, since before Chinese New Year, we've been running 20 hours a
because
day.
it was flu season, so you knew that you had to do that anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We thought there was going to be a flu epidemic. Didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Okay. What about its impact on the company itself, on China Surgical Dressings itself? You have to pretty much put on hold the production of a lot of your other products. You said you have almost 600 items that you usually make. Now you're focusing on, I think, only 6 of the different masks that you're making en masse for Taiwan and for the world. Do you feel that maybe in the long run, if COVID-19 keeps running its course, it's going to affect the development of CSD down the road?
It's already affecting it.
How?
Because right now, when the face mask is our core product, and we've been known to have so many different colors and designs, and we have made our brand, our brand has been revolving around that. Right now, I have to basically stop my whole branding and my whole color and design face mask for COVID-19. So in a way, my branding has started to diminish a little bit more than I like in the market and in the international market. Even in early January, late December, I was in Berlin for a fashion week, and our fashion face mask has been on the runway show. And that was like the first step out of the many that I wanted to take to go into this international market. But now I have to put everything on hold. So the longer this lasts, of course, it's going to do some damage to my brand. But at the same time, that is not the priority for me right now. So I have to focus on what the society needs, what the world needs right now, to focus on that.
This is probably heartbreaking for you personally, because obviously to have Taiwan-made face masks, China surgical dressings made face masks, going into Berlin Fashion Week, it's got to be the brainchild of a young mind like yours. And having already have some success because it's already seen some presence in the fashion week. Now all of a sudden that is put on hold. However, I dare say that maybe down the road, pandemic and viruses like COVID-19 would become a thing to stay. In which case, maybe the human race would just have to wear masks all the time, and then to work it into your daily attire to have some fashion and style into it could still be the way forward, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this is going to change the behavior of everybody around the world and how they look at face masks. I mean, in Taiwan, nobody wore face masks before SARS. You would go into a hospital and even the staff wouldn't be wearing it. But now everybody wears it in Taiwan. So I think this time COVID-19 has hit the world in such an impact that I think everybody's perception of what a face mask is going to change, and their usage of it. And the behavior of using it is going to completely change. So even during this time, usually our face mask, we have been known to make multiple colors, around like 30 different SKUs of colors and designs for face masks. But that actually lowers my output capacity. So during this outbreak, we decided from a 30 different SKUs, we took it down to around 46 SKUs. So we were able to raise the output capacity by 10 to 15%. So that is something we just decided as soon as this became an issue. So back in January, we started implementing this. And I feel like it is our social responsibility that we need to do this, and we did. And that's how we executed. But there is one thing. Yeah, there is one thing that I feel like I want to take this time and say is I feel I wish the society can take a little bit more social responsibility as well. I think the doctors, the nurses, the government, the manufacturers, we're all doing what we can to help out the society. The doctors are putting their lives at risk at sometimes to help the society. But when we have like a 4-day weekend and we see all these people traveling and going places to have fun, like the hotels are booked like 90%. I mean, that is just... I'm not mad about it. I'm more disappointed about it. We're trying everything to help, everything we can to help the society be safe, but the society itself is not really taking up the responsibility to keep itself at bay. Sometimes it's hard, it's heartbreaking. Like, I don't know what to say.
That's a good bit to add to the end of this this whole thing is that yes, the medical and industry is trying so hard to keep this this pandemic at bay from Taiwan. We like to see more from our own. So there you have it. It is a possibility that face masks could become a fashion statement for us in the future. In the meantime, Taiwan is fully equipped to supply itself and the world with enough to combat COVID-19. This has been another episode of Better Taiwan. See you next week.